Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kauaʻi County Council Roundup. This is Chairman Rapozo with Councilmember Addison, Bulosan, going over today's council meeting, February 28th. Thank you, Kauaʻi, for allowing us to share a little bit. What a busy day.
Yeah. Great day.
What I thought was going to be a short meeting again turned out to be a pretty long meeting. But we just had a few items that we're just going to touch on. I just want to remind everybody, you can watch our meetings live on Wednesdays at 8:30 on www.kauai.gov. Click on the webcast meeting button and you get right in. You can watch any of our meetings. Pretty soon you'll be able to watch our meetings live streamed to YouTube thanks to Kauaʻi. That's going to happen like very soon.
Awesome.
I'm excited. So Kauaʻi Channel 53, you guys know, please tune in and you can watch the council meetings in its entirety. Again, mahalo to Kauaʻi. Today, let's see, this is our agenda right here. I'm just going to touch on a few items. A $90,000 donation from the Affordable Housing Coalition of Kauai. How's that?
That's amazing. You know, one of the things that we have a lot of nonprofits working on this issue. And, you know, recently we saw a travesty that happened over the weekend. And so, I mean, 90,000 won't replace that, but, you know, we need all the help that we can on affordable housing.
Well, while we're on that, man, thanks for bringing that up. $20 million setback, the house fire or the construction fire at in Elieli. Affordable housing project, probably 2 months away from getting people moving in. And I'm not sure how it started. I'm not going to speculate. But if you all have information on how that fire started or who may have started it, please contact the police department. We want to catch those guys. So yeah, basically this was a nonprofit organization that donated $90,000 to our housing agency to develop more housing. So that is awesome. We had a couple of bills that we'll get into a little later. Fire department using some unexpended funds that they're not going to use. They have an opportunity to pick up a water tender wildland firefighting apparatus. $500,000. Nothing is cheap nowadays, but adds to the arsenal in the event we get wildfires. This fire truck will be able to assist our existing resources. So
yeah, that's a huge one. You know, we learned really quickly from last year that we need equipment on hand and ready to go, and the chief's plan on making sure that it's stationed in certain areas of our community so that we can have rapid response is exactly what we need to do.
I think none of the council members had any issue with spending that kind of money as it relates to public safety, especially after Lahaina. I mean, you know, we just got to make sure we're prepared. We had the audit today, and this was an interesting audit. This audit was commissioned back in 2019 after the flooding that occurred in 2018. So the council of 2019, which I was not a part of, nor were you, commissioned the audit. The audit was conducted. And when I came into the office back last year, we had suffered another rain event in 2020. So I asked the auditors to take a look at this was all procurement contracts from the rain flooding that happened in 2018 and 2020. And today was the day that the auditors came into the council meeting and presented their audit report, which basically, you know, audits are tools. It's not gotchas. We don't do audits to catch people doing something wrong. We do audits, performance audits, so that we can have an outside agency look at our county operations, do a detailed assessment of what is happening, and then come out with recommendations that we hope, you know, that we follow to basically make our county more efficient and more productive. So this is your first audit experience. What do you think, man?
Yeah, it's exactly how we wish government functions, and I'm so glad to be part of the county council here that allows us to look at audits in depth. And we spend pretty much the whole morning going through line by line, page by page, to really understand the big picture of how we address or how we addressed some of our emergencies. And so I thought it was wonderful. Obviously, on my end, it really helps to have people who have been in that situation. So we have a past mayor that have been in that situation regarding to our emergencies, and previous council members there, so they were asking the right questions. And then we had you there helping us to really understand what we need to look at and uncover so that we're doing all the right things, and where we aren't doing the right things, we make sure that we have a plan to fix that. And I think that was probably the biggest takeaway from the audit, was that We need better policy and procedures in the way that we address procurement, particularly in how we address spending money during emergencies and what that policy and procedure looks like.
I really want to, because at some points it got kind of, I won't say contentious, but, we have a lot of questions on the council, and I did want to make it clear that, the findings of this audit, some of them were pretty severe, serious, if you want to say, but the fact of the matter is the administration at the time and the county employees at the time did what they felt was the best to get the job done. Remember now, this is during a flooding event that cut off people from society, that basically just, no one was able to cross roads. There was no road to cross. And I think the administration did what they thought was right. And then the auditors come in and they look at it in the eyes of federal regulation, state regulation, and they look at areas that we can do better. But I just want to make it clear, as I was pretty critical, that I don't believe any of this was done maliciously. I think we don't know what we don't know. I keep saying that. And I think the biggest takeaway I had today was that we gotta, as you just mentioned, we gotta do better in having policies and procedures in place that provides the best opportunity for our administration and our county to do the right thing in compliance with federal law, state law, and of course our county code. So I hope that our administration took that away as well. There were some questions on some specific projects that we'll look into a little deeper, but I thought it was overall a very good presentation, and I want to thank our auditors as well. But yeah, I always, when we have new council members and during first audit reports, it's always pretty interesting. We had a few resolutions confirming our mayoral appointments to the commissions. Again, you can watch all of this in its entirety on Kauaʻi Channel 53. We also had a resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of finance basically to get a loan from the state water pollution control revolving fund to fix our pump stations in the Waialua area. Deferred maintenance, as Public Works called it. This is an opportunity for us to use monies from the state fund to get those repairs done. Much needed repairs along the whole system, which includes the Waialua treatment plant by Lidgate, but also the pump station that connects to that pump. So quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it's a big problem that we are addressing first, which is one of the things that is the hardest part about is accessing funds. And so I'm glad that our administration is pursuing it. And obviously we voted 7-0 or 6-0 in support so that we can get that done for our community.
We also had a resolution. I introduced a resolution urging the legislature to oppose the legalization of recreational marijuana. That went down. We only had 6 members today. Councilmember DeCosta is on the mainland, wasn't able to make it. And it ended up in a 3-3 vote. So it's a tie vote, which means the matter will carry to the next council meeting in 2 weeks. But let me just go first and say, I don't support recreational marijuana. I do support the medical marijuana program. I do support the hemp industry and wish that our state would really expand those programs. But this, for me, the opposition is really with recreational marijuana. And I'm not going to go into detail here. It will be deferred for another 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks on March, the second Wednesday of March is our council meeting where we'll have Councilmember Billy DeCosta back, and he's going to be the deciding vote. It's not a comfortable place to be, but he's going to be here, and basically, I believe that recreational marijuana, should we legalize it here in Hawaii, is going to come with a price to our society. Social impacts cost money, and I just don't want to see that. I know Addison has a little different position, which is pretty cool. Democracy in action.
Yes.
In fact, somebody told me the other day, you guys boring, you guys always agree. Well, watch today, watch this meeting, you're gonna see it's a very, very enlightening meeting. Again, Channel 53 on a weekend. You gotta tune in.
Yeah, in fact, these debates and conversations is in front of you that you can watch on Kauaʻi.gov. But really, the most important thing is hearing from you. We need your testimony, your thoughts, your ideas, your questions. You can do it via online through email. I think it's counciltestimony@kauaʻi.gov. Or you can Zoom in. That's another one that we just brought back last year. Or show up in person. That's always the best because we get to be in the presence of you and understand where your thoughts are. I did oppose the resolution to oppose the current proposed legislation. There's a lot of opposed, so it's a double negative. And mainly because I think there is a path in which that we can regulate adult use of cannabis. There is a pathway, I think, that it can be safe, like alcohol, like sugar, like tobacco. But I do share the concerns that was brought up today. It's by far no means that I agree in any way that it should be something that be accessed by kids, or I want to make sure that my thoughts don't reflect in wanting to promote something like addiction or anything that can cause harm to anyone. And so, if you want to catch that debate, it was awesome. I thought, for me, it's what we hope that democracy functions like, where we can have differing perspectives and sit in the same room, or even be in the same place talking to you, and still be normal people, because that's what life is about, right? If you can't have differing perspectives and you gotta not be in relation with people, then it's just one boring and scary world.
It's a matter of respect. I mean, I did not know Addison's position on the resolution. Sunshine Law prohibits us from talking to each other, so I didn't know what Addison's position was, and I respect his position, as I do Councilmember Cowden and Councilmember Kagawa, who opposed the resolution. Councilmember Carvalho and Kauaʻi, they supported the resolution along with myself. So it was a healthy debate. Again, I would encourage you guys to tune in to Kauaʻi Channel 53, because it's because we, like Addison said, we want to hear from you as well. I have been here long enough, and I can honestly say that I have changed positions on issues between meetings because of something somebody said, some situation that I may not have been aware of. I don't think that'll happen in this one, but I am anxious to hear your positions. Let me just say, I'm really concerned about our mental health issues in our state. If you ask me about mental health services for our keiki here on Kauai, I say it's non-existent, really. It's so hard to get your kids treated, and that is my fear. We're going to add another layer of potential mental health burdens on the system that is, at this point, not adequate enough to protect our kids. So I wish the state would take its time. There's no rush. I would rather have seen the legislature do a thorough analysis of all of the states that have legalized recreational marijuana, find the shortcomings, and come up with a bill, number one, that separates recreational marijuana from hemp and medical marijuana. Right now, it's all in the same bill. I don't think that should be the case. But to take a look at all the other states and where they are short on doing it right, that we can make it better. But that wasn't the case. Governor Josh Green wanted to get this moving. His Attorney General drafted the bill, which to me looks like a copy and paste from multiple jurisdictions, and got it to the legislature, and they want to get this thing moving. So I just wish they would have taken more time, because I agree with you, there is a path. And that path needs to be very, very carefully drawn out so we don't mess up.
I agree.
All right, if you guys want to watch the rest of it, see Addison get angry, perfect. It's on Channel 53, by the way. You notice I keep promoting Channel 53 because Wiki is a great. Max is our cameraman here. He's such an amazing dude. And then we just had a few bills for first reading. Number one, Mr. Kagawa has introduced a bill that is going to lower the golf fees for the twilight hours. This is again after we passed the bill raising fees, and now we have enough data to basically tweak. So we're going to be lowering the twilight fees to get more play in the twilight hours, which will free up the more expensive rounds in the daytime, so we can, best make the best use of that. And then let's see, we had a couple of bills that relates to housing, and I'm not going to bore you with the details on that one, but basically it allows our housing agency to have more control on issuing tax credits to developers that produce affordable housing, as well as having the ability to, on our home buyer list in the county, really focusing on the people that live and work in that area and get them into that areas first, so that we're not giving houses to people from Hanalei and then forcing them to move to Poipu. So it's kind of just, tweaking the system. A lot more discussion going to become, one of the, Bridget Hammerquist came up and made the recommendation or the concern about non-Kauai residents. I gotta say, Addison, I agree with her.
Yeah,
That unit should be only for Kauai residents.
yeah, that's a great perspective, and that's why we have such a process, right? It passed first reading, but now it's to our community. It goes to public hearing 5 weeks from today, and we need to hear from you. So please take a chance, look at those bills at first reading from today, and make sure to mark your calendars. Either send it via email or jump on Zoom or come in person for our public hearing.
Well said. Again, www.kauai.gov. You can go to the county council link. You can subscribe to our agenda so you get emailed every week. You'll get emailed 6 days before Wednesday, and every Thursday you'll get emailed our agenda for the following week. Council testimony at kauai.gov is the email that comes to all of our council members, and the webcast meeting button. You can watch any of our archive shows as well. If you know of an item that you want to go back and look at, you can get there. And of course, Hawike Channel 53, where you can watch it live, or not live, replayed, but soon it will be live. Any closing thoughts, my friend?
Can't wait for next meeting.
Next one or the one after that?
The one after that.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys. You guys take care. Until next time, God bless. We love you guys. Aloha.
Aloha.